are live. Hey guys, how is everybody tonight? Welcome to the stream. Whoops. Hey Steve, how you doing? Steve says good luck to all the players. Thank you, Steve. We'll all appreciate that, I'm sure. Pretty excited to get this regional underway. There's a lot going on leading up to it. I made a post on Facebook the other day where we're going to do a little play testing tomorrow night, possibly a little bit on Thursday, depending on who all shows up. I can't stay real late Thursday night. Originally, I thought I could stay till 9. I'm not going to be able to stay till about 7. Then I'm going to be out. Friday, I'll probably stay till 10 or so. Hey, Joe, how are you? Andrew, thanks for tuning in. May the best Wicked Witch win, says Andrew. Wow. Lawrence says Morgan and Zorro are looking good. Yep, still hanging out with me. They do look really good. I took the Hercules and put it in front of the store over the weekend during Origins, and it did seem to bring in a couple people. Hey, John, how are you? Ben, can't wait for the weekend. Will be a blast, says Ben. Yes, I can't wait. Also, Alpha Ranger, how you doing, Jesse? Ricky, you're here early. How are you? Ricky, do you still play sorcery every once in a while on Monday nights? I think, there's the Raven Project. How did I overlook you, John? Sorry about that, buddy. We are counting it down. I think a lot of guys are coming in on Thursday night. Quite a few coming in as early as possible on Friday. Have not heard from the Canadian contingent. Need to reach out to them and see what their plans are. Going to be a lot of playing going on. As most of you know, Nora and I are going to attend the sports card show Friday morning that's also here in the convention center. We're going to do a little hunt for Jackson. He wants Jackson Dart. I want Bo Jackson. So I got one card I'm looking for and one card only. If I can't find it, I may buy a Jackson Dart card just because I can't find the Bo that I want. John, we're sad that you can't be here too. I think it's going to be a great time. I'm trying to reach out to the LRG guys, find out when they're all coming in. I know Ron's coming. I think Joe, Dave. I don't know about Sean and Keith. I need to reach out to everybody and just see what's going on. Ricky says, nope, I wish I could play sorcery still, but wife works Monday nights, so it's been quite a while. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Andy, how are you? Nervous and excited. Won't be in super early on Friday, but hoping to see what I can manage with pickup games or something. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of games going on, Andy. I have to figure out how I'm going to fit everybody in this room. Got Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon on Friday night. Trying to get the other room for them. We'll find out. Dark Clown says, will this be Andy or Ray's first top 8? You know what? It could be amazing. Andy says, last big test for my ERB era. I got one more deck I want to play, ERB, but I don't have any more regionals, so I guess I'll just start playing it on Friday nights. Travis, hello, OP community. Doug, question, is there a bounty for top 8ing with a modern team still a thing? That is something that Keith Bursack does or has done in the past. I'll reach out and ask him if he still plans to do it. Travis, I'm going to say yes, there will be a bounty to anyone who top 8s in the modern, with a modern team in the legacy format. And if Keith don't want to put up a bounty, I will put something up. So there you go. Definitely going to have a bounty. John says, as of yesterday, Sean was going. I don't know when he's arriving. All right, good to know. I'll have to reach out to him. And he says, just you wait. Maybe it'll be my first 2 top 8s. Oh, Andy, he's going to top 8 in Modern and Legacy. Out of way. Hey, Michael, how are you, buddy? Did you manage to scrounge up some tickets to the Dodgers game for that one-piece event? I just found out that the New York Yankees are going to have one for Naruto. And I have some buddies in New York, so I bought their tickets. They're going to give me the cards. Hey, there's the Traveling Goof. How are you? Travis says, I'm trying for it. All right, buddy. We'll do something. I'll get with Keith, and we'll do something. I promise you that. Andy says, I guess at least I can prep my deck breakdowns while we wait for the weekend. How many tickets did you get, Michael? He says, you know I did. They're such beautiful looking cards. Bandai just announced another card game, and that card game is Naruto, and that's what this card at the Yankee Stadium is going to be all about. I wish they'd do one in Cincinnati. I might actually drive down there for that. We'll see. But I bought 2 tickets to the Yankees game for my buddy, and he'll find somebody to go to the game with him. It's the Yankees and the Rockies, so it's like, I wouldn't want to go to that game. But he's willing to for me. I think Andy's got prep deck breakdowns. Yeah, I got to make a video next week to put up my my playtest 6-week journey. As I'm finished. I have the deck is ready. It's in a box. It's not coming out of the box. I may add one more card to it. I haven't decided yet. My deck is 99.9% ready. So like I said, I might add one more card. I don't plan on playing it again until Saturday. I will take it out of the box. I'm going to put new sleeves on it. And I'm ready to roll and see what happens. Jessica is still a little leery of it, but Corey and North said, you can do it. And Jessica said, go have fun. So she's not too confident in the deck, but we'll see what happens. Travis says, I think the Edge crew is mostly getting to Heroes and Games about 4. I don't know if I can get there Friday night. I'll have to see how I feel when I get close to Columbus. Yeah, don't push it, buddy. We want to make sure you get here. So whatever it takes. The Goose said, so who is going to make their pre-tournament deck breakdown? You know what? I forgot. We need to make a video, don't we? I need to reach out to Corey and Nor and Jessica. Maybe we'll make our pre-event decks video tomorrow night and then share them with everybody next week. Totally forgot about that one. As I know a lot of guys have been enjoying those. John says, I'm so disappointed in you, Doug. Help and support the Yankees. John, I know. It was hard. It was very hard. But, you know, I had to do it. It was the closest I was going to get. And tickets weren't outrageous. They're like $85 a ticket. Because I think word is just now getting out. So I think I got them before everybody found out about it. Those tickets will probably go way up in price soon. Travis says, once the Few and Cursed and Skybound are legal, I have a feeling Jessica is going to be even more fearsome. Yeah, I think you're right. She's super excited. I'm super excited. I want the Few and Cursed. There's something in the Few and Cursed set that I really, really want. And I'm not telling you all what it is, but I will eventually. The Few and Cursed is what I'm waiting on. I'm not waiting on Skybound. I want the Few and Cursed. I've already got a deck concept that it's already built. I'm just waiting to put in some cards. So Felipe, if you get online tonight and watch this, I'm super excited, brother. I can't wait to see everything that you got in that set. I can't wait to do a learn to play day with those decks. I still have no clue when we're going to get them. We need 2 more weeks, right? Probably 2 more weeks. We'll get an announcement of a date when we will have 2 more weeks. Speaking of 2 more weeks, 2 weeks from tonight, I have 1, 2, maybe 3 big announcements to make. So everyone, make sure you mark it on your calendar. 2 weeks from tonight, you're not going to want to miss the stream because we got some stuff to talk about. Travis says, I'm with you on that, Doug. Well, thank you. John says, I'll forgive you for hunting promo cards, but it will be difficult to overcome my Yankee disgust. Hey, John, I agree, but I'm not going to the game. I'm sending someone who lives in New York. I would love to go to Boston to see a Red Sox game. And actually, if the Red Sox did a promo with a trading card, I might even fly into Boston just to do that. So keep your ears to the ground, John, if you hear of anything. Michael says $85. Dodgers on One Piece Day went for almost $300 for the nosebleed seats. Yeah, Michael, that's why I jumped on it when I saw that I could get them for $85. I thought, what do I got to lose? $170. So I'm not a gambler, but I felt like a pretty good investment. Andrew says, I want either one. Dying for new stuff. Yeah. We're only 2 months away. Andy says 3. Hang on. 1, 2, 3 announcements. It's the count. Yeah, the Sesame Street count. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I am going to have some stuff to talk about. So I don't know who's going to be on that stream with me yet. I don't know who's going to be on it with me next Monday. We're going to see how everything turns out over the weekend. I'm going to try to bring the winners on if they're still in town, if my kids are available. Just super excited for the event, and then the stream afterwards on Monday night should be great. Andrew says 2 months feels like 2 weeks, far longer. Yeah, I wish Felipe was on so I could ask him about if there's any chance we can get the Few and Cursed in July. I don't know how much input he still has in things, but I don't know if he's heard any updates on the release date. He's not sharing them with me, that's for sure, if he has. John says, all good New Yorkers are Mets fans. Travis says, Doug's announcement will be King Dracula can play all King Arthur and Dracula non-OPD. Dude, that would be amazing. That's a great character. I like it. Hey, Brad, how are you? Thank you. I love those standees too. Thanks to LRG for sending them nice and early so I could get them on the stream. Man, Brad, it's been forever. How you doing, buddy? John says, I'm going to be very happy to be able to learn to play events with Few and Cursed instead of starters. Yep, I think it'll be so much better to teach people with. And, you know, Origins, a lot of people came into the store, and if LRG is listening, they were complaining that LRG was not there this year, and they were saying how much they loved the LRG booth last year. So just so you know, LRG, you were missed, and people were talking really good about your booth. Michael says, Doug, come out here to Southern Cal, and I'll take you to a Dodgers or maybe a Rams game. Michael, I might be interested. Thank you. Andrew says, who even tested the Few and Cursed? Us playtesters haven't. Seems dangerous to have just 8 to 10 guys test stuff. Andrew, I don't know that anybody tested them. I don't know. That's why I was kind of thinking most of them are going to be, I was thinking would be recycled characters that we already have with specials that are already in the game. But Felipe went all out I don't know how he did play testing. I'll have to ask him. Brett says, it's been a bit because Cub Scouts is Mondays at 6:30, but now it's summer. All right, well, welcome back, my friend. Are you coming this weekend? The Goof says, I don't even know if the card text has been finalized yet. Goof, we don't know anything, right? Marcel, welcome, my friend. How are you? The goat has entered the podcast chat. We just get no information out of these guys at all. It's kind of amazing how little info we can get. I found out today by texting Ron that he's definitely coming, and that's all the information I've had in weeks. Goof says, I heard recently that things were still being locked down. That wouldn't surprise me. Andrew says, Felipe told me he has full control of the art, but LRG had full control of the characters and kids. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either, Andrew. Brett says, I can't, unfortunately. I just moved and started a new job. Brett. Well, I hope that was a good move and a good new job for you. Make it worth not being here, right? The Traveling Goof says, we know the rules update isn't happening until after Columbus. I was going to bring that up. Thank you, Goof. Ricky says, I'm sure if you play tested, maybe some cursed. I don't know. It could have only been the LRG guys, right? John, you're in the chat. Did you play test the few and cursed? Travis says, not all the specials are rehashed. Yeah, I know. I was surprised. The one special revealed for Phantom Express is target character cannot play specials until the opponent concedes the battle. Concedes a battle. Yep, that's pretty nasty, right? That could be very powerful. The Goof has just brought up the fact that Dave dropped a rules update on us. So I am going to go into the Overpower group page and pull that up so that when we talk about it, when we're ready, we can get into it. I know there's 20 comments on there already. So there's a lot going on. Part of what is in that rules update, I think, is probably needed to happen. But some of them were kind of surprising, right? I don't know. I don't understand why they couldn't have announced this a while back and made it legal for Columbus. But I don't think it really affects a whole lot in the game, does it? Because most of the, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, let me read this new rules update. For Columbus, there won't be any changes, but there are a few significant changes you will see in the rules book 2.0. All draws and fetches performed during the battle will be revealed to opponent. Anyone active in the Discord won't be too surprised at this. My question that I posted and haven't got an answer to yet is, does that include draw threes? This is to close vulnerabilities to anyone misattributing duplication to a draw or fetching a card not allowed by a draw or fetch. Right now, I think in the Modern, aren't all the fetches reveal? I could be wrong, but I think they do. Reserve characters will not have to discard cards that are not playable from reserve. What the heck? This is to remove this legacy-based exception to our Modern simplified usability checks. Modern check is a live grid or a live hero that can play the card equals keepable. That's it. Okay. Tiebreaker, end of game. No final decisions have been made yet, but we will be tracking how last hands and end games resolve in Columbus with an eye towards revising, refining, or removing the current last hand tiebreak procedure. I'll tell you one. This is with an eye towards keeping tournaments running on time and removing any management of the last hand that we determine is out of line with the Overpower core game. In Columbus, we will not have last hand. We will have end of round, and then you've already ventured you will get one more hand. So we're not going to call out last hand. We're going to call out end of time. That is just so confusing to everybody. I don't understand why they insist on keeping that. At this moment, all the other pending edits are clarifications and not major changes to the rules. If you read past the bluff, congratulations, you love this game. I don't know what that bluff is all about. But bottom line up front. Okay, so that's stuff that's going to be going into effect after Columbus. I don't think it's going to change a whole lot of things. And I don't think there's anything major there, unless it changes the draw 3. Uh-oh, you guys got ahead of me while I was reading all that. The Goose says most of the Few and Cursed seem new, especially all those heal and attack cards, or the Alistair 6. Hey, Doug Taylor, how are you? John says, you're asking me. No, I wasn't in the playtest. I haven't played a single game since surgery in December. Oh, John, I hope you're healing over that really well. Ricky says, Season 1 will be the playtest. Yeah, you're not wrong. Andy says, I think Dave is really trying to make it a full rules update. I think it would be better to have successive patches along the way, but that's how it's going. The Goof says it'll include draw 3s, exception draws, and more, says the Goof. Is that what they said in Discord? Andy says most fetches do not reveal. What? Morgan's discard and draw card does. Who else fetches? Joe says, no, things like Barsoom aren't revealed. Oh, that's right. That Barsoom does go fetch a card. And does Mr. Hyde? No, he doesn't. No. All right. And Gemini, all right, Gemini doesn't say reveal, but it will be going forward. You will have to reveal. Barsoom, Gemini, Headless Horseman, etc. all aren't revealed, but now will be. Okay. And Marcel says, Homelander is going to be a tentpole in this game. Homelander? Dang. Where's Homelander? What set is that? Doug says, no, currently Webhead Gemini is a fetch, and you don't reveal that. Yep, you're right. Andy says, Barsoom, Universe Event fetch, Invisible Manpower Pack fetch, Victory of Void fetch, also don't reveal. That, you're right, Andy. Thank you. Travis says, I don't like the change to Gemini. I hate the change to Gemini. Hey, Felipe, how are you? Hey, you like those cutouts, buddy? Even make me look good? Wow. Felipe, I got to take back all those good things I said about you. How are you, my friend? Goof says bluff is a military term meaning bottom line up front. But I don't understand what that has to do with the rules. Sorry. I guess, Goof, you're going to have to explain it a little bit more to me. Bottom line up front. Okay. John says, my doctor says I should have my new leg in early July. Oh, I didn't know you were still waiting on that, John. Well, I hope it happens sooner than that. Although we're almost to July now, aren't we? Michael, I'll see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Felipe says, that's the boys. Hate that too. Biggest thing about Gemini is bluffing. Well, I don't know that it's bluffing. It's just how powerful a card did you go get? No, Felipe says no take backs. Okay, I won't take back all those nice things I said about you. Oh, hey Nor, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Bad rule change, I think. We should only have to reveal if the card allows you to keep dupes. Goof says it's going to take some getting used to, but at least it'll be easy to be consistent. We'll just have to adapt. Yeah, it's just like anything else, right? I mean, eventually it'll become second nature. And he says, bottom line up front, Dave wanted to make sure he was emphasizing the bit about the new rules not affecting Columbus. Okay. And we'll make that announcement before both events, or all events, this weekend too. Mickey says, Love Sausage is going to be a tent pole in this game for a circus tent. Homelander, is he in the boys? I don't know. If that's where Homelander is, if he's from the boys, Marcel, he will not be a tent pole. He might be a gravestone. I am not excited about that, as most people know. I have not hid my feelings on the boys. I can't even get excited about Top Cow. Travis, thank you for clarifying. Homelander is in the boys. Wow. Well, I know the guys will make these sets as creative as they can, but it's going to have to be an amazing character out of the boys to make me play it. Marcel says, new rule totally nerfs the Lady of the Lake. May as well play Robin Hood. Yeah. It's still 2 for 4 or 1 for 3. Yeah. Probably. Play Robin Hood. Okay. I forgot to set my lights up today. Sorry about that, guys. The last few weeks I've been setting up my spotlights so that when the lights in the room go off, I didn't have to worry about it. But I forgot today. Hey, Jalen, how are you, buddy? Goof says, bluff. Military often makes the last line the final order that's given, so they added another acronym in order so they could tell you the important stuff at the start, too. Okay. Well, it's definitely going to be a change that we'll get used to. I wonder why you would play Lady of the Lake instead of Robin Hood to begin with. Robin Hood, discard 2, draw 4, keep dupes. That's an interesting one. Brett says, Invincible, Top Cow, and Into the Boys basically cements OP as a mature game due to the licensing alone. It's hard to share these IP with my kids. 100%, Brett. 100% agree. And it might make it a little harder for them to get the Marvel IP, but I don't know about that. I'm just thinking out loud. Marcel says, one bad thing about Robin Hood was showing cards. Now, since they both do, it's an obvious choice. They need to sometimes leave what's good alone. I mean, a draw 3's a draw 3, right? It's worked for all these years. John says, I can't wait for Top Cow. The boys don't excite me personally, but I think the property is well enough known to bring in a number of players. We shall see about that one. I don't know. Ricky says, bluff confuses me also. When I was reading that, I kept looking for whatever that was referring to in the post and found nothing. Yeah, me too. The Goof says, nonsensical, but military loves their acronyms for acronyms' sake. I agree, Goof. That just it seems like symbolism over substance. They just wanted to throw something out there. North says, you can play Lady of the Lake as your very last card. You can't with Robin Hood. Nor, that's a very good point. You can't hold it all the way down to bluff with it. John says, I find the boys to be very boring, mostly immoral clones of DC characters. I've never read it, never watched the show. Kind of what I have been led to believe. Felipe says, yeah, but revealing the cards you pulled can really nuke the card. I don't understand why we can't bluff anymore. They added the bluffing element into the game, and now they're taking some of the bluffing element out of the game. When you're allowed to keep cards for the reserve character that they can't play, that's bluffing. Now you can't bluff with your draw 3. You got to reveal them, and if you're discarding 2 of the 3 that you draw, or you show your opponent that they're unplayable, it's like no good. Traveling Goose says, it sounds like they're expecting the community to grow to such a level that they need to implement anti-cheating measures. And he says, I bet a bunch of people are going to try swapping to Robinhood only to realize they actually hate discarding specials. Yeah, that could be too. But if you hold that special for the character in reserve and discard that, you'll be okay. Andrew says, I understand why, but the hopeful influx of new players, they don't want people doing stuff like having a 7 or 8 in hand, Barsoom Pump, and grabbing a fairy instead. That, Andrew, I think that's the biggest thing. You're not worried about them keeping dupes as much as they went and got a card that they weren't allowed to get. And Andrew says the boys was a great show. The Goof says confusing since they haven't done very much to get the word out to players, only to distributors. Their story's got like 20 shares, which shows that what they're doing isn't translating yet. Yeah. To me, it's like I'm not here to promote their game. I'm here to promote what I enjoy, which is playing this game. So I'm not sharing a lot of stuff that they post online. Most of the people on my timeline don't care. So we shall see how things work out. Alpha Ranger says, at this rate, Daredevil's blind man's bluff will have to be played face up. That's funny. John says, we'll just see more fairy protection. Well, we got the new any characters coming up soon. And Traveling Goose says, fetch reveals make perfect sense. Yes. Hey, Laura, how are you? Oh, thank you. Laura says, good evening. I hope you all have a great Overpower weekend. Are you going to come by and see us, Laura? You and the kids, any of them? I know there'd been talk that you might show up on Sunday. We'd love to see you if you want to come in. I hope you can work that out. I know Junior's got a job working and selling cars, so he might not be available. Yes. All right. That's awesome. Who's coming up with you? Junior going to have the day off. Jacob, the girls, anyone and everyone, I hope can make it. John says, I want the fetches from your deck of a card type to be revealed. Regular draw 3 is fine if you have to reveal at end of hand anyways. Those should not trigger a reveal. Oh, Laura says, my kids plan to come as well. That's awesome. It will be nice to see you all. I know everyone else feels the same way. Are you coming on Sunday or Saturday? And we'll be here. Everyone, I don't think anyone's, well, some guys are just coming for Sunday, but I don't think anyone playing on Saturday is not coming on Sunday. So, whichever day, I know Vlad and Sam aren't coming until Sunday. I don't know about the Cincinnati guys now that I think about it. I think they're coming for both days. but I need to find that out. I don't remember what Scott and Jesse told me they were doing. You would think I'd be able to remember such things, but I have not. Sunday, my son took the day off work. Awesome. Great. Can't wait to see you and all the kids. So we'll be here. We're starting a little later on Sunday than we are on Saturday. So Sunday we don't start until 10 o'clock. So come up whenever you're available. We'll all be glad to see you. I have heard from Phil Keffer that he is not going to be here. Marcel, you're in the chat. Are you still in the chat? When did you guys plan on arriving? Are you guys coming in early on Friday? And are you all coming, the Bertrands and Sean? Are you all coming together? Laura says, we're all looking forward to it. Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait. Stephanie's coming up also. I don't know if Justice is coming or not. I'll have to ask Corey if she plans to come up, but I know Stephanie's coming. Corey, Jessica, and Nora will all be up here, so we can't wait to see you guys. Looks like maybe Marcel has bowed out momentarily, and Felipe's skipping the whole weekend. I think after the beating he took out in Pennsylvania, he was afraid to come back to Columbus. What? Let's see, that should get a rise out of Felipe. John says, Doug, remembering things is for people under 50. You and I need to take notes. You got that right, my friend. I take lots of notes. Oh, man. I put everything in my phone anymore. Well, most things. Just jot it down. Sometimes I'll send a text to Corey and say, hey, this isn't for you. This is just so you can remind me. It's getting harder and harder, that's for sure. Waiting for Jessica to pop up in the chat tonight. Nor, what is she doing? Oh, wait. I bet she's taking a nap. She's not going to be in the chat tonight. Ricky, you're coming in tomorrow, right? What time are you going to get here? I think AJ... Oh, there's another one, Laura. AJ's going to be here Sunday. I think AJ's coming around 3:30 tomorrow, between 3:30 and 4. So we can play a few games kind of early. Like I said, I'm just not staying too awfully late. But I think Nora might be, or might be planning it anyways. These young guys, they can stay up playing a whole lot longer than I can. I picked up a nice little image collection from somebody at Origins this weekend. It's all commons and uncommons, but it's a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to put out at 25 cents a card. So if there are any cards you're looking for in the image set, it's an 800 count box full, roughly a couple thousand cards, maybe a little bit more, 2,500 cards. There's nothing rare. There's nothing uncommon. There's some uncommons. There's just nothing rare, nothing very rare. There were no spawns that were... There was no spawn 9 or less voids, no 4 multi, no 7 strength, no spawn character cards. There was finite powers. There was probably 150 finite powers in there. So there's plenty of those if you need one. What else was in there? Just if it was common, it was in there. I'm also hoping to receive some more cards later this week, some X-Men and some classic, mostly common stuff with just a few rares and very rare sprinkled in there. I should track. I got a tracking number on them. I should look to see if they're going to be here in time. I was really hoping to get some Rebirth booster boxes in time for the event to give them out as prizes. If you haven't seen the Rebirth cards, I really like them. I think they look really nice. They're not legal. You're not going to be able to play them. But if you've never opened Rebirth packs, you'll have a lot of fun with them. But unfortunately, it looks like the last time I tracked them, they're not going to be here until Monday. Very disappointing. But we shall see. Maybe something miraculous will happen and they'll be here on Friday and we can use them for prize support. Ricky says, I'll be in around noon and heading to the office, but can come to you all in the evening. Okay, well, we'll be here. Come on over. The Goose says, very cool. There are a couple fun image characters I'd like to draw sometime. Killraiser seems pretty neat, especially if intelligence ever catches on. But yeah, I did see a lot of Killraiser. I don't remember. Killraiser must have been a common, because I think there's 7 or 8 of his character cards in there. There's some Wynonna Earp cards. She pairs very well with Joan of Arc and the Redhead, right? Zealot, a lot of Zealot's cards, but not her 1 per dex, no Cherubim or the 11. Or I don't think there's any character cards for her either. But a lot of fun stuff. So if you're looking for anything, just let us know. We're not going to have 2 full showcases full of stuff this time, I don't think. But that could change. Right now, we have both showcases full of prize support for other games. So I might have to try and find someplace else to put those so I can display all the Overpower stuff. Playmats. I think the playmats I'll just stack up on the countertops or something. But what you all think of the prize for top 8, right? King Arthur? Pretty cool, huh? I honestly wish that the OP Cup had been the Burger King Arthur. I don't know about you guys, but I was a little disappointed. I mean, it would have been the ultimate troll, right? I don't like that playmat that they chose. And the Burger King Arthur would have been amazing. Travis says, hey, Doug, you don't by chance have a raw foil stack for sale at the store, do you? The way you had the playmats for Nats was good. Did Raw have a foil stack? I don't think he had one, did he? I'll have someone will get in the chat here and tell me, Travis, if Raw had one. And I have not opened anything since the Nats, so most of my stacks are gone. We sold so many of them during the Nats. I'll have to check with Nor, Corey, and Jessica and see what they have. Corey said he was bringing in a lot of his stuff. They're going to give out a lot of prize packs to you guys. I don't know if you saw the post on topdeck.gg. You're going to get 5 prize packs with your entry. You'll pay that $20 at Heroes and Games, and they will give you 5 prize packs when you pay that $20. So that'll be awesome. I don't know how many packs we're going to give out on Sunday. I think I've got about 100 to give out for that. I'd have to look. So we're winding down the ERB prize packs, getting ready to ramp up for Invincible. So we want to give away a lot of them and get you all settled in on your ERB prize pack cards and get you ready for Skybound. Hey Spectre, how are you? Showing up late this week. Lots of last minute play testing today. Awesome. See you on Friday. Keep play testing. You know, play testing's a lot of fun. And especially when you're playing with a bunch of guys who are also play testing, you can sit around and talk about what worked, what didn't work, why it didn't work, what you liked playing against, what you didn't like playing against. I enjoy play testing a lot. Ricky says, playmat should have been a zombie eating Burger King Arthur. That would have been even more hilarious, Ricky. You are so right. John says, playmat should have been Burger King Arthur staring across at Joan of Golf art. You guys are awesome. Yes, that would have worked. Alpha Ranger says, no, there is no raw foil stack. Thank you. That's what I thought. Traveling Goof says, 5 prize packs. That equals 20 basic universe cards. Man, I hope nobody has that kind of luck. Except Sean Valentine. If he does it, it'll be hilarious. And if he does it, I'll give him a couple extra packs. Travis says, wow, Raw didn't have a foil stack. That would explain why I haven't seen one. Yep. Unfortunately, LRG did not realize how crazy we were all going to be for these foil stacks. So they really didn't push the Kickstarter to get to the point to get foil stacks of the whole set. If they had done that, if they'd have realized how badly we all love opening those packs and pulling foil stacks, they could have just totally promoted the Kickstarter very, very differently, especially there at the end to get to the point where everything was foiled. Kind of a disappointment, a little bit of a loss there. But, hey, Dave, how are you? Dave says he's excited for this weekend. Norris says, should be a super fun weekend. Can't wait to see everyone. Dave says, I hope everyone gets a Reaper in their packs. Yeah, I hope everyone gets a Reaper too. Just in time to stop playing the Reaper when we get a new set of any characters. What do they call it, a battlefield? Get a whole new battlefield or whatever it is. A whole new stack of characters to use, any characters. That'll be interesting. I can't wait for them to make that announcement and tell us what those any characters are. It's been something they've been talking up a little bit. They probably should talk it up a little bit more and release a couple of them. Show us a preview. Dave, what day you coming in? Who all's coming? You, Joe, Ron, Sean. Is Keith coming? Oh, Travis says, I pulled 3 Reapers in one night. I don't need any more. That is a lot. Alpha Ranger, you're the man. Ban the Reaper. Traveling Goof says, Battleground. That's what it is, Battleground. Announcements on the mechanics is still pending. Dave says, was talking with Lawrence about the new Battleground. Going to be fun. Yeah, you guys need to start teasing us a little bit. Maybe give us one new any character a week or every other week until they release. We got 2 months now. Although, I guess, technically we got about a month, right? Because it's going to show up in Canada. There'll be a Canadian version of all these cards. Where you'll have your first opportunity. I guess everything will be spoiled then, right? Dave says he's coming in Friday morning with Keith, Sean, Joe, Ron, and James. Awesome. I had a text with Ron earlier today, and he said he was definitely coming. James, I'm gonna have a phone call with James tomorrow evening. We're gonna line up some things. And I got to reach out to Keith because I do have a question for him. I actually got 2 questions for Keith. A bounty for a modern deck making the top 8, an all modern deck making the top 8 in the OP Cup. And I got to talk to him about some playtesting stuff. And Dave says, spoiler, gonna be a KL in there. All right, Dave. Boom. I'll see my way out, says Dave. I wonder if there is a KL, if people will use it. Travis says, the Canadian version of the cards, they all have multiple maple syrup on them. The Canadian version of them, and yes, and the Goof says, and hockey sticks. Oh, that's funny. And Ricky says, Skybound Overpower, eh? And Doug says, the new cards are more polite. So, I don't remember. What's the date of that Canadian event? Oh, that's the first week of August. I'll be at the Sports Card Nationals. So, that's when your first opportunity, well, I'm going to spoil something really big if I'm not careful. It looks like that's going to be your first opportunity to get your hands on a few of these cards. From what I understand, it's going to be very limited. It's only going to be drafts. And when the packs are gone, the drafts are over. They're going to draft till every last pack is gone. Doug says, and you have to say A after you play them. That's clever, A, says the Ranger. Oh, man. Andy says, a Friday draft. Right, they're going to draft all day on Friday until they run out of packs. I got to look. Now I got to pull it up. It's August, I know. August, what? Is that August 7th? Oh, Howard, I wish you were in the chat to straighten me out. I think it's August 7th. So, if you're planning to go to Canada to the Peace Bridge event, looks like that's going to be your first opportunity to get your hands on some Skybound. Goof says hopefully they'll get the cards up on Excelsior not long after that. That's one of the things I'll ask James about tomorrow. Switching over to Top Deck and the deck builder over there, see how quick they're going to get them into the deck builder there. Alpha Ranger says, boot the Reaper, eh? Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what's in any characters, to see what's playable about them, not playable about them. And if I'm going to continue to run the Grim Reaper with fairy protection. We shall see. John says the Canadian set has Sir Arts of Bobby Orr, Ken Dryden, and Wayne Gretzky. Oh, that would be really cool, Wayne Gretzky. The Goof says, although I'm still nervous whether my cards will get in before Seattle in time. If the release date is supposedly 8/28, that'll be tight to get them from online stores in time. That depends, Goof, on where you're ordering them from. When's the Seattle event? Ohio to Seattle, I believe, is a 4 or 5 day delivery. But, we can do magic. Abracadabra type of stuff. There are ways around things. I'm just saying. Nothing illegal or anything. But tune in 2 weeks from tonight for a major announcement. How's that sound? Maybe we can make it possible for the Goof to get his cards on time. He says, because there certainly aren't any LGS that have heard about it and will order it, unfortunately. That is the thing that comes up every Monday. And it's so frustrating that it has to keep coming up, that these shops won't even order this stuff. And somebody posted on Facebook that the shop said, oh, we got to order cases. No, not true. They just don't want to order it for you for some reason. You can order just one box from a distributor. Ricky says, I don't want magic. I want overpower. Ricky, thank you for bringing that up. Let me tell you something. Marvel Superheroes Magic, the Gathering Edition, pre-release was Friday. And we were so swamped with people coming in and buying it. I can't wait for Overpowered to get the Marvel license. That's what's going to grow this game. That's what's going to keep it going. And I sure hope they get that license soon. Travis says, I'm interested to see turnout at PAX in Philly since it's going to be the same time as Brazil events. Yeah, there's a few people talking about going to Brazil instead of PAX. We shall see. I'm kind of curious too if that's going to turn out to be a good or a bad thing to have those on the same weekend, because you can't go to both. There's no way you can make it down to Brazil in time. And Larry's hoping to make that Brazil trip like a 5-day event. Come down early. Felipe will show you around Brazil, go to the Comic-Con, and then play in an overpowered tournament, right? So, I really wish they hadn't done that. But it is what it is at this point. And the Traveling Goof says, gives you a little asterisk here in the Bay anyway. I'm hearing that all over, Goof. There's a lot of stores that just don't care or just haven't heard about it. But they have 200 stores lined up, supposedly. I have not heard that, but I don't know. John says, Pandemonium will ship on the morning of release day. Raven Project says, LRG also put out a call today for help at Gen Con. They did. They're looking for volunteers. Travis says LRG gets the Marvel rights and there will be a huge influx. I agree. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to help them get to that Marvel license. John says Marvel Superheroes is our third worst performing set this decade. At least it was 5 times as good as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wow. Oh my goodness, what's up with my lights? I got to remember to set up my lights going forward. John, was it really that bad? We sold out of just about everything. We still had a few play boxes left and the beginner boxes. We ran out of Jumpstart. We ran out of the collectors. We ran out of draft nights. We sold every commander that we had, and I ordered them pretty heavy. For us, it was pretty heavy. For you, it was probably nothing. And then the scene boxes, I thought I ordered way too many of those, and we almost sold out of those. So for us, it was very, very good. So I'm sorry to hear it was that bad for you. The third worst performing. Okay, it was 5 times better than the Turtles. So what was between the Turtles and Marvel that was so bad? Spider-Man? I bet it was Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man was awful for us. The Goof says it'll be nice for all the Brazilians and Argentine players. Yep. Hey, Scott. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. The Goof says, even if they get Marvel, they got to learn how to teach people about the game. We'll see how their plans work out for Skybound. I hope it goes well. Yeah, I agree. But once people are coming in for the Marvel cards, they'll want to learn how to play, right? John says the Magic crowd just doesn't care about supers. That's interesting. I guess we have, being a comic book store, we have a lot of comic people who are looking forward to it. I thought the cards looked fantastic. I thought they did a great job of making it feel like a panel from a comic book. So I really kind of enjoyed seeing it. We sold about 240 pre-releases. All collectors gone and most commanders, but play boosters not so much. 240 pre-releases. Oh my goodness. I only had 30, and I sold all 30 of them pretty quick. Scott says, been better, still recovering from surgery. Glad you're getting better, my friend. Ricky says, do you think there were many people who started playing Magic because of this set, though, or just people already playing returning players? I don't think they were new players at all. And I don't think there were new players for Magic when Final Fantasy released. but there's a lot of old players who came back to play because they wanted to see Final Fantasy. John says, we usually do about 600 pre-release. Are you kidding me? Wow. Now, will they continue to sell for you? Or do you need to ship some of them to me? I'll buy them off of you. Andy says, yeah, let's be honest. All TCGs rely on existing players teaching. Yeah. And a lot of TCGs just take players from other games. Scott says, the cards from Marvel superheroes look awesome. I thought so. I absolutely loved them. I've never played Magic, don't intend to play Magic, don't intend to collect them, but they did look really good. The Goof says, TCGs rely on existing players teaching, yes, but also on having local events that are easy to go to in order to play. Yep. Tune in 2 weeks from tonight, Goof, and I'll talk about that. I promise you. That's on my list with one of the 3 announcements we're hoping to make. John says, Spider-Man was terrible. The art is good, but it doesn't fit thematically with the rest of the game. Yeah. It took me a long time to even sell out of my Spider-Man collector boosters. And that's when you know things are bad. I never did sell out of the play boosters. And I never had to reorder them. I won't reorder them. I'm still sitting on cases of those. So, but people are looking for a superhero game. The comic collectors that want to play a superhero game. And that's where Overpower is going to step in and fill a void. If they can just get that Marvel license. Although Marvel kind of cleaned house with a lot of people here recently. So I hope it doesn't hurt our chances of getting a new superhero game. We shall see. It'll be close. It's still a long ways out. We got Top Cow at the end of this year, and the boys sometime the beginning of next year. Haven't heard anything beyond the boys. We haven't heard anything about playtesting Top Cow yet, let alone the boys and anything beyond that. And so we shall see how that goes. John said, we just sold off all our Spider-Man and Turtles at a huge discount just to get them off the books. Holy cow. I hate to hear that you had to do that, John. I didn't get a lot of either of them, but I am still sitting on a little bit of Spider-Man. The Turtles, I don't think I have a whole lot left, but actually, I never looked because I probably don't want to know. Travis says, I would love to see LRG get some rights to anime, Bleach in particular. Yeah, I don't know how anime would fit in. Right now, Bandai seems to try to lock up all the animes. Bandai and Weiss Schwartz. The Goof says, to be honest, with how awful the recent Marvel movies were, I don't even bother watching them now. And how gross the fit into Magic the Marvel set is, I'm not even too interested in having Marvel back in Overpower. Holy cow, are you kidding me, Goof? Wow. Wow. That's the only reason I'm here. I love playing with the Marvel characters. And I like a little bit of the DC characters. But to me, it's all about the Marvel characters. I have enjoyed the ERB set. But it's like right up my alley because it's a lot of pulp characters, and I love Edgar Rice Burroughs, so they kind of got me. But then they lost me on Skybound, Top Cow, and the boys. Although they got Jessica and Noor with Skybound. I don't know who all they're going to get with Top Cow. I know there's a lot of guys on Facebook saying they can't wait for Top Cow. John says, sounds like my Magic orders are about 20 times yours. I usually sell out in a week and need to reorder 20 times. Yeah. Yeah, probably are 20 times mine. I'm not a big Magic store, but I never sell out of play boosters. The collector's boosters all eventually sell out, but it took me a while to sell the Spider-Mans. And he says, I think there's a lot of non-Bandai properties in Shonen Jump that would kill as an OP set, though yeah, Weiss Schwarz snags up a ton. Goof says, I'll enjoy playing the Legacy cards still. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to playing the Legacy. I'm going to take some time off after this Modern event and probably just play a little bit of Legacy. Yeah, we'll have 2 months with nothing new. Well, that's not true, because we'll hopefully have the Few and the Curse sometime in July. So I'll get about a month. Skybound is great, says John. Okay. Top Cow released end of the year. That's hilarious, says Andrew. You know what would be awesome if they do a Kickstarter for Top Cow? Start a Kickstarter in July for a November, December release. I wonder if they could do it then. Travis says, I would like Top Cow just because I know those characters better than Skybound. I haven't read any comics in a very long time. John says, Top Cow is my favorite, but I want the Marvel license. Yeah. Andy says, I'll be enjoying it if they can eventually land Marvel or at least Spider-Man, but I also would get excited over DC. I've been really starting to appreciate a lot of them. I am of the opinion that a Marvel license would lead to a DC license. I'm not sure a DC license would lead to a Marvel license, if that makes sense. I think if they signed Marvel, DC would say, hey, wait a minute, we want in on that. If they sign DC, I don't think Marvel will say, hey, wait a minute, we want in also. But I could be wrong. I'll take either one, but I really want the Marvel. Andrew says, Skybound is awesome and so fitting for OP. Yep. I think it's good. It's just not the characters that I like. I'm not ragging on Skybound at all. I'm sure there's characters in there that I would want to play. Goose says, same, Andy, especially since the old DC cards are in such a rough state. Getting new DC and Image seems like a good step, especially with my Marvel fatigue. John says, no more Kickstarters, please. You don't like Kickstarters? I like Kickstarters. Andy says, I just want to rock a Doom Patrol ultra rare foil. Kickstarters would allow for more foil cards, right? So, I'd like to do that. But John don't like the Kickstarters. I think the Kickstarters have been fun. Andy says, I definitely also want to see them have a crack at Ninja Turtles. Wow. As big as the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles failed at Magic, and Universus tried it, and it failed miserably, I would say no. I would not try to get the Turtles license. John says, I want the JSA, but Spectre would probably be 26 points. Yeah, but I would love to see him and his specials. That'd be awesome. Travis says, I like Kickstarter, but I spent too much money. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? Felipe didn't stay in the chat very long. I'm going to have to message him directly and see what's going on. Alpha Ranger says, I have yet to have a Kickstarter with overpowered cards get fulfilled correctly. Yeah, that's bad. Felipe's working on that, though, right? He'll be okay. He'll get this next one right. It says, I'd prefer them not to have Kickstarters either. All those stretch goals are too much for me, and it's confusing to have so many different sources of cards. I agree with part of that, Goof. We could have done it with fewer stretch goals. Set the dollar amounts higher and had fewer stretch goals, but I do enjoy the Kickstarters. Goof says, at least Felipe is very communicative. It helps a lot. It certainly does. John says, more files will happen with Grove. It's very hard to fit them into large size print runs because they take more time. Alpha Ranger says both LRG and the Few and Cursed. Yeah, LRG, they did pretty good at first. They got us the product early, but then to finish it off, it took forever. And the Few and Cursed, yeah, I guess they had a couple hiccups along the way, but I think they're getting it straightened out. Travis says LRG should hire Felipe for Kickstarters. He did amazing with the last one. Well, I don't think LRG wants to do any more Kickstarters. I don't know that that's the plan. But if they do, I agree they should hire Felipe for that. I don't know how Felipe feels about it, but I would very much like Felipe to be involved in any future Kickstarters, if there are any. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. We're looking forward to seeing you all this week. Remember, tomorrow night, if you're in town, there'll be somebody here playing. Nobody's going to be here on Wednesday. Thursday night, Thursday afternoon, there will be people here all day Friday. Nora and I are going to start the charity games at 2 o'clock. We raised $300 at the Nats for Ronald McDonald House. Now we want to try and match that again and raise $300 for Ricky's wife, who's going on a mission trip, I believe it was to Egypt, right? So if you can, $10 to play. If you beat us, you get a $20 gift certificate for food at the food court or at Heroes and Games. So thanks for tuning in, and you guys have a great week. Can't wait to see you all. It's going to be so much fun. And remember, we're going to start early, 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. So tune in right here at 9 o'clock Saturday morning to see my playtest deck. I will be on stream the first round playing that against whoever I get paired against. So we'll see you all soon. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Have a great couple of days, and we'll see you soon. Later.